My name is Blake Calhoun. I'm a freelance filmmaker and YouTube creator. And during the pandemic, I had a Tuff Shed built in my backyard to use as a home studio. This series of videos shows how I did it and how you can too.
Well, today is supposed to be the day I get the shed installed, but as you can probably see and hear, it's raining. My rock bed here appears to have held up pretty well, and we had some severe storms last night, so that's a good sign. But I'm not sure they can put in the shed with this rain. I'm just not sure. They could probably get things going, but I doubt they can do the full install with all this rain. All right, well, I just got word we are canceled for today, and so the rain was too much for the install. It is kind of muddy back here, so they're now coming next week, 1 week from today. All right, well, today is the day. We got a nice sunny day. It's about a week later. Next time you see this pad, the construction will be underway. He's working on the foundation, and here's the other pieces to the actual shed. I guess these are the walls or the floor, I'm not sure. Yeah, these are the exterior walls. They're painted on the other side there. They're multitasking. The other guys are down there at the truck right now, getting most of the stuff off the trailer here. These are the shingles they're going to put on the roof. So getting a true roof put on, which is kind of cool and good for, obviously, longevity. And this guy is continuing on the foundation. This is the actual foundation. Putting it over my gravel bed I built. So there's the steel foundation all put up. Now they're starting to level it. It's about an hour into the build and they're making really good progress.
And it's a small three-man crew and they build everything on site. However, usually they'll have some of it more together than this. For me, they had to do what's called a stick build because of my fence. They couldn't get stuff into the backyard. And of course, you customize everything when you order it originally. Bird's eye view from looking out one of the upstairs windows as they're continuing to get the shed together. And they're putting a wrap on the wall there that will help with keeping moisture and the elements out from inside the shed. And the building is pretty tall, and so those tree limbs might just need to be trimmed. When you order a Tuff Shed, everything is pretty much customizable. That includes where you can put your windows, the kind of roof you get, the location of the door, etc. And that also includes the paint. So they primer it and do a coat of paint at the factory before it's shipped. But then when it's on location, they apply the final coats of paint. All right, well, there may be a problem with the door. So I've had this door in storage, it's in my garage, for, I don't know, 6 weeks or so. And the contractor just came in and looked at it and measured it, and he says he's never installed a door like this before. So, at least in a Tuff Shed, that is. My sales guy said it would. I sent him a link and I bought it from Home Depot. And so it's a standard size door. It should work. Fingers crossed it does. All right, we're about 7 hours into the build and they're still going at it. Typically, Tuff Shed can install these in one day, but this was a really big job and we're now starting to lose daylight. All right, guys, well, as you can see, the building is not quite finished. We're 8 hours into the job and we decided to call it quits, and they're going to come back in the morning. And by the way, this thing is a monster. I had no idea how tall this was gonna be. I mean, I knew, but it's even taller than I expected.
And we did have to trim these trees back, which I wasn't planning on. I had trimmed them before the crew arrived, but the front of that building is just much taller than I realized. If you watched my previous video where I built the gravel pad here, the weed barrier, it worked out pretty well. Although back here on the back side, I guess I mismeasured. I mean, I know I mismeasured some, but it's not exactly even. It doesn't matter because I'm going to come in and put a nice decorative bed around here, but overall it appears it did pretty well. This corner is a little bit different than the others, but that's okay. Again, they squared it all up and looks good. Let's step on in and take a look. Before I know it, it'll be finished out. A little ways from there. Right now we actually can see out the ceiling. But yeah, this thing is pretty cool. Again, it's much bigger, especially from the outside, than I really thought it would be. Again, you can do all the measurements you want in the world, but once you actually see something in your yard, it's a totally different animal. So this is what we have left to put in tomorrow. These are the windows and the glass that goes above the door. And then here's a bunch of trim. These are the shingles. Right up there is where that glass is going to go. And then this will be the front door. All right, it's day 2 and they're back. So on day 2, it's really just about putting the finishing touches on. The windows, the door, the paint, that kind of thing. So while I wasn't looking, they came and got the door out of the garage. It was right here. And now it's gone, and there's the cardboard. So there it is. There's the door. One of the hardest decisions I had when I was customizing the shed was what color to paint it. And most of them are two-tone. But the way they're painting it here isn't exactly what I wanted. All right, I'm at a distance and just wanted to say that we had some issues with the painting. They had painted the trim the wrong color, but I talked to him and I think they're resolving it now. Just a miscommunication from his boss down to him. I'm trying to stay out of their way. Looks like they're doing a good job overall. Before they fix the paint, they're actually finishing up the front door. And it took a little while, but in the end, they did get it to work. All right, now back to the paint. Typically, Tuff Shed paints the window trim the accent color. I didn't want that. I wanted it all to be one color and just have the accent color on the roof and above the front door. Right here, they anchored the shed down to the ground. And there's 4 of them, I believe. 2 on each side. Just extra security for wind and storms and that kind of thing. Well, took 2 days to finish, actually a day and a half. About 3 to 4 more hours today. But now I've got a Tuff Shed. And I added the door hardware after the guys left. So this is it. Well, this is it for now. I will be, of course, getting this completely finished out. My plan is to do everything you would normally do in a finish out of a house or an apartment or whatever. I'm going to add power. I'm going to do drywall. We'll be doing the floors, ceilings, the whole 9 yards. And if you're curious, this is called a lean-to, and this peak of the ceiling over here is about 9 feet. And then back on the back, it's about 7 feet. So
So it's a pretty dramatic difference, and I think it gives it a really cool look inside and out.
Be sure to check out the next video where I show how I did the finish out and how ultimately I turned this Tuff Shed into a home studio. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.